Okay, so Oshkosh
Oshkosh,
Corporation
right?
is at the top.
Right.
That goes down into what's called our segments.
Mm-hmm.
And the main segments, fire and emergency, which we fall in. Then you've got, for example, like defense and commercial.
Well, fire emergency is one segment.
Yep, and within this segment, there's multiple business units.
Right. What's the other one? Fire emergency, and then there's defense.
Yep. Then commercial, another one.
Commercial.
And then access.
What's access mean?
Like JLG. They make all the lifts and stuff like that.
Okay. Yes. So within each of those fire emergency defense, there's business units?
Yep, the business units.
And where does the fire, you guys fall in?
It's the fire emergency.
Into the fire emergency.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. All right. That's easy enough.
It's a little complicated. Yeah. It's tough to explain to people sometimes. Yes, the headquarters are in Oshkosh.
Right.
And they are in the same location as our defense facilities, where they manufacture our defense trucks. Our snow removal trucks for Oshkosh Airport products, those are also built in the defense facilities down there.
Okay.
But our fire trucks are built up here.
Right. Yeah.
We're doing everything we can to confuse you.
No. I believe I've seen much more confusing schematics. Some of the products introduced, you have what's called a McNeilus mixer truck?
Yep.
For the Latin American market?
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes, and that falls under the commercial segment.
Commercial, okay.
And McNeilus it's a brand. They are mainly based out of Minnesota.
Okay. And then you make snowblower equipment, right?
Yes, Airport Products makes airport snow removal.
Okay. And our Scania engine's going to go into each of these things, the snowblower?
So we have a Scania engine in one of our snowblowers right now.
Okay.
And it will be put into some of the other models. We're working on, like the engine installed right now. So those will be offered in the other snow removal equipment as well.
Okay. And then there's a fire, you call it just firefighting vehicles?
ARF vehicles, aircraft rescue and firefighting, ARFF.
ARFF.
Yep. So,
okay.
Yep. So those are basically stay at the airport. They'll never leave. There'll be some municipal calls, but those are basically fire trucks on steroids.
Yeah, and the Scania engines going in those.
We're starting to offer it as an option as one of them. Previously, we only had Deutz. Those engines were in there, and now Scania is going to be able to be offered in those trucks. Okay. And our new 8x8, we produce an 8x8 right now, but we're working on developing it and designing it into our kind of new style. I'll show you the difference over at the facility. Okay. But we're going to Scania engines, 2 engines in that truck. So it's have 2 Scania engines in the vehicle.
Why 2 engines?
Due to the power requirements. Okay. So it's kind of to the packaging also. It's easier to have 2 engines instead of one huge engine in there. So it'll be 2 Scania V8. We'll put up to about 1,500 horsepower.
These are in production right now? They're going to be?
It is. We will be unveiling that truck at the FDIC show in Indianapolis.
When is that?
In mid-April, I believe. That's the largest firefighting show in the domestic U.S.
Oh, the FDIC show?
Yep. I couldn't tell you what that stands for.
Right now, if you went to any airport, you wouldn't see this in operation yet.
No, we are working on our first model of it. I wouldn't say prototype. I mean, it's going to be quality and production ready, but we're design phases pretty much all over. So we have parts in order. They're coming in. Needless to say, we're pretty excited to have 2 Scania engines. In there.
And are these for particular airports? Are they worldwide?
Global. So we sell our trucks all over the world, and the 8x8 is a truck that a lot of, I didn't say a lot, but it's not as popular in the U.S. Because in the U.S. it carries a lot of water. Internationally, they like this 8x8 because they can go fast. Their thought is you can have more power but less water, so they can go faster. Speed's huge. In other parts of the world, it's important here in the U.S. There's requirements you have to meet, but outside the U.S., it's like they want to go NASCAR fast, and it's very popular because you can. It's also a very flexible truck with the options you can have.
Is there you called it an 8x8 truck? Is there another name for it? If I'm going to be calling this something?
I would call it the Striker 8x8.
Striker 8x8.
Yep.
Okay, and it's a Striker 8x8. Is it aircraft rescue and firefighting?
Yep.
So that's ARF.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be the biggest and baddest fire truck in production. The key takeaways in that truck are the speed. The Scania engines enable us to go have the high speeds we need while carrying all the water and equipment and options that firefighters want. And with that, the other big takeaway is it's no compromise.
What does that mean?
Customers don't have to compromise on water capacity or storage.
These are probably all questions I would ask Celine too. We could just wait till we talk to him a little.
I'm sorry, the 6x6 is about 40 feet long, and the 8x8 will be around 50 or so feet, something like that. I can get you exact dimensions or schematics on that truck too. I actually have a really nice mock-up of that truck that I can send to you. We don't have a build, of course, but we need photos of it for ads.
Right.
So we did a really nice...
When will it actually be, the first unit be built?
It'll be for FDIC in April.
In April,
yep.
Okay. And when do you suppose you'll actually start delivering these things?
That's a good question. It kind of depends on when we get orders for them.
Okay.
He'd be able to talk on the international aspect, and Jeff could probably talk to the international and on that.
What I'm going to be able to take photos of today, is it any of the Strikers you have?
4x4s and 6x6s.
Okay, well that's fine.
But
if you have an 8x8, like a PDF or something, you can send that to me.
Oh yeah, this is, it's, photo quality. You wouldn't be able to,
My name, Dwight@Cendrowski.com.
Wait, last name again?
CENDROWSKI.
Usually airport snowblowers have two engines. One drives the truck, and the other one drives the blower.
I see.
They can also have brooms attached on the front that basically sweep off the runway. And the single-engine blower is very creatively named because it has one engine and not two. It was a first for Oshkosh Corporation, actually, for the driveline. It's hydrostatically driven driveline, and it uses one Scania engine for that application. And it's a smaller truck designed for smaller airports or for airports that want a more maneuverable truck. Also be used off of airports for municipalities where you would clear streets or clear bridges, overpasses, that kind of stuff.
Right. Why is a single engine better than two engines?
It's not necessarily better. It's just a different application. It enables the truck to be a lot smaller, so you can have it be more maneuverable.
I see. And then the third one was these, remind me again what the mixer trucks
Those are McNeil's trucks, and that is not a product line that I touch at all. So
it's not. Okay.
No. Celine might be able to talk to you a little bit more about
all right.
that.
No, I'm about that. Would Celine or yourself have any of this specs on the engines, like the horsepower and those kinds of things?
For the Scania engine you're putting in?
Yeah.
I could get those for you. I don't know them off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I'd be able to get those for you.
Okay. I'd kind of like to know the size, like the ones going in the 8x8.
Yeah. Yep. I could definitely get you that information.
Okay. And what's Jeff's position? What's he doing?
He's the general manager and vice president for Oshkosh Airport Products. He's the boss, basically, for Oshkosh Airport
Products. Okay. And do you know when you started your work with Scania? Is that
it would have been with the I don't know if it would have been with the 8x8 or single engine blower. Jeff would definitely be able to answer that question, though.
Okay. That lender.
Well, the other thing that we've done with Scania is we built a municipal fire truck. We used a Scania chassis, actually, and put a body on it. So that was one kind of, I think that was probably our first forte with Scania, officially bringing to market. We had that at the Interschutz show in Germany.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Hi guys, 2 minutes.
Sure, that's fine.
So, first, I'm not 100% sure exactly
What this is? Maybe we should tell you that.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, and then I'll be able to be in the context of what, so.
Yeah, I don't have a copy of it, but Scania has a company magazine.
Yeah.
It's called Scania.
Internal magazine, within the.
Well, it goes out to all their clients and prospective customers, that kind of thing. And basically showing their products, how they're used around the world. So they're featuring an article on you guys, on airport products, actually. And using their engines now in some of your vehicles. I didn't know how much you were filled in on any of this, actually.
Well, I know quite a bit. I know very well the Scania relationship. I'm sort of the point person for it.
Okay. Good.
I'm the guy who coordinates all the events and the. So, however, I just want to know in the context of it and how much to divulge and how much to talk about.
Well, it's. I don't want to spend way too much time. It's a relatively short article.
Of course. Make the pictures the grunt of it. So.
Well, they are. I'm not exactly sure. Something like this that might run 600 words total, and then 3-4 photos, probably one big, and then a few small ones.
Sure.
So we might use a headshot of you, and then something over at the plant, showing one of your trucks and such.
I have some pictures of the Scania team who was here a couple weeks ago.
Team. Well,
It's more about Oshkosh. I got it.
Yeah, they probably would. But yeah, we're focusing mainly on the.
But actually, it's not a good picture because we're all drinking beer.
That's a great picture.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Good. I could probably get this from Sam, but do you have any idea of the scope of Oshkosh, the entire corporation, employees and such, or should I can just...
I can give you a quick rundown on it.
Give me a quick rundown, plus when I think they moved here in 1918?
17.
1917?
It was incorporated in 1917.
Okay.
The 100-year anniversary is coming up in 14 days.
Oh, really? It's coming up?
Well, I mean, basically, when in 1917 is our 100-year anniversary. We're very proud of that.
And it did start here in Oshkosh.
In Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Right.
Not to be highly technical, but you're not in Oshkosh, you're in Appleton.
Yes, I know that.
So Oshkosh is about 20 miles down south. Right. So let's pretend we are in Oshkosh. So it is actually, it was incorporated, it was created and established in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
You got it. And Sam was saying just the corporate structure, there's Oshkosh is the corporation, then you have various segments.
We have 4 segments.
4 segments, fire, emergency, defense, commercial, and access, lifts and such.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit more about the engines that you're buying from Scania.
Sure.
They had mentioned that what about them? I mean, why are you buying it from them? Why are you putting it in these airport vehicles?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. First, let me. You talked about Oshkosh Corporation.
Yes.
We are we were established in 1917.
Right.
100 years old. We're very proud of it. For a U.S. company, that's a rare commodity. It doesn't exist. Not many companies can brag about 100 years. That's one. We are about 15,000 employees.
Okay.
We have 4 business segments.
Mm-hmm.
Between $6 to $7 billion in annual sales revenue.
Okay.
We traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
symbol is OSK. I give you the highlight, very quick ones.
That's
And
good.
Sam can give you.
Right.
Okay. And we have 4 business segments.
Right.
So just walk you down from a big picture down to very quickly to a short one.
Got it.
My responsibility is 2 out of the 4 is the fire and emergency segment.
Okay.
We call it FNE, so for simplicity.
Okay.
Fire and emergency FNE, and the commercial segment.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Well, what's included in commercial?
Commercial is garbage trucks, concrete mixers, batch plant, utility trucks. That's about it.
Got it. Yeah, because I'll probably mention the basic structure, but then we're going to go into talk a little bit more about the airport products.
Well, if I may say that our collaboration with Scania, so you know from it's on the airport side, but also very much so on the commercial side.
Wow.
So we 2 out of our 4 business segments are collaborating quite a bit on going to market with the Scania product. So I'll explain to you in details on that. So it's not just. At least I will give you my story and the relationship with Scania.
Right.
You guys decide how you want to craft it to make it just solely airport, or do it combination of. You decide. You're the expert.
Okay.
So, and I'll give you maybe a little bit about me. I'm the vice president of international sales. You got my card.
Right. You got that.
Been with Oshkosh for 19 years, let's say.
19 years. Okay.
I mean, between 18 and 19, I'll go on the high end of it. 19 years. And my responsibility is to promote and sell the fire and emergency and commercial product outside the United States and Canada. So our territory is the world outside the United States and Canada.
When you say our, that's what you're handling.
What I do, yeah.
Everything outside North
outside
America.
the border of the United States and Canada is my responsibility.
Okay.
So give you the scope of what we do.
Yep.
Okay. And then going back a few years when I came on board, we were trying to collaborate with a company named Scania. When I came on board, got to know the Scania team. And it was very clear to me that the Scania team and the Scania company is very similar to Oshkosh Corporation in terms of culture, values, approach to market, and the way that we treat our shareholders. So it was very, very obvious from my perspective. And then I thought, based on that, we're so compatible, I felt that we can take it to the next level and really accelerate the collaboration. So we worked on the fire and emergency side. I speak of first, and then I go back to commercial. On the fire and emergency side, we looked on 2 fronts. One is the engines to put up on our strikers on the 8x8. It's a brand new product, so we're very proud of that. And on the 6x6 and eventually on the 4x4. Also, we're putting the Scania engine on our snow product.
Right.
So we're also very proud of that.
Are those called snow blowers? Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he can, Sam can give you all the technical and specific models you have. And I'm sure you have some pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that took quite an extensive collaboration between us in terms of from a sales and marketing side, but from an engineering and manufacturing side. So we were able to do that. And now we are going to market with it as we speak. We develop it, we are comfortable with it, we're starting to code it, and we expect that to be ramped up quite a bit in FY17. That's this relationship takes time to come to market.
Right. Can I ask you when did you start working with Scania? How long ago?
I would say 4 years ago. You can go back. The relationship with Scania goes back to 6 years. Let's call it.
Okay, it goes back 6 years.
6 years. However, when I would just say humbly, when I came on board, it became really obvious to me that this has to be accelerated.
Right.
So with the leadership, with Jim Johnson and Jeff Fresh and myself, we really agreed that we want to leverage that relationship. So we really accelerated the collaboration big time.
Okay.
So you can say that for the first 2 or 3 years, it was like cordial, talking about a few things, but nothing's happened. And when we created the International Business Group, the group we are in, we created focus and dedicated resources and got it done. So one of the things that we did is created the opportunity on the engine side, but also there was another project we're trying to do is create a commercial fire truck, commercial chassis fire truck. So we took a Scania chassis, put our fire body on it, and went to market with and promote it. So we see it as an opportunity for us to promote the Scania chassis with the Pierce body through our distribution system, and also vice versa through their distribution system. And this project is working pretty good, but we had some hiccups along the way, so I'm not so sure if you want to mention that. We call it the XP. Then also we considering, but I'm not sure if it's public knowledge. It's going to be. I'll keep it at that level.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not as simple as you're just buying engines from Scania. You'd mentioned using their chassis, putting your body on things. Are you simply buying things from them? Is this, would it be called a partnership, a cooperation? How would you describe it?
It's really, it's a collaboration between two big companies that have the same values, the same approach to market. We are a premium brand, and we see us compatible. So I believe that we don't compete on price. We compete on value, adding value to our customer, creating the life cycle cost approach to our customer base is probably second to none. If you look at the life cycle cost of our equipment, we tend to be best value and also what I like about the collaboration we have, we look at the high pictures and we look at this life cycle cost, operation cost, and value for our customer, resale value for our customer, and we're very focused on the aftermarket. We don't just sell trucks, we sell a relationship that we sell the trucks, we service it, we support it, we make sure it's taken care of. And in our fire truck business, if a truck is down, the airport is shut down. You can't afford having a truck down. So we understand what aftermarket business is required. So if the truck is down, we'll do everything within our power to go ahead and support it. And I believe that Scania philosophy is the same. If the truck is down, this is a revenue stream for the operator that is going away. So it makes it very much of an impact on their daily paycheck. So the sense of urgency and support and readiness is very similar.
Got it.
And then, go ahead.
Just one thing in some of the notes I was given about this, they had mentioned that Scania is delivering low-emission engines. Is there anything particular about these engines that set them apart from, you can buy engines from anybody, lots of manufacturers, I'm sure. Is there anything particular, I know you say you have the same kind of corporate philosophy and such.
Right.
Is there anything particular about their engines that you find? Is it durability? Are they low emission? Is that something, I don't know where that phrase came from. I see it in some of my material here.
Sure. I have to be careful not to oversell it because many companies that sell engines, they have dirty engines and they have low emission engines. It's not a differentiator between engines, between engine manufacturers.
Okay.
What I believe is the Scania value is maybe in terms of when you put an engine in our chassis, it's a continuous collaboration. and the collaboration, the support we get from Scania is very, very effective. It makes the integration of the engine to our chassis much easier. If there's some technical issues, we can address them. They give us the whole spectrum of the engine, from low emission to high emission engines, depending on the customer requirement and the market requirement. But I'm not comfortable, and maybe you should ask Jason Shively on that. If we say they give us low emission engine requirement, it's no different than many other ones. In Deutsch can do that, so in my mind.
Okay.
So if you have a Euro 5, Euro 6 solution, we call them Euro, standards are Euro 5, Euro 6. There's no doubt in my mind that the other manufacturer provided that.
But I think something important when you talk about the collaboration with Scania is our chassis are purpose-built chassis, so that collaboration is really important because it's not just a shoehorn into, a commercial chassis or something like that. It's really a in-depth collaboration to make sure it integrates.
We're a custom chassis, The chassis industries, you have the commercial chassis, which means the trucks you see, the Freightliner and the Navistar and these guys, you buy a chassis completed, you put our body on it, you move on. We're talking about collaboration is on creating a custom chassis, the Oshkosh name on it. From the rails up, you have rails, you put it together by us, and then you put the engine on it. Today is Deutsch, and we're trying to switch over to Scania.
Okay. So I'm clear too. You said you're just dealing with everything outside the U.S. and Canada. You're not going to find any of these 8x8 vehicles in U.S. airports? Am I mistaken?
The 8x8 will be for global consumption.
It will be for
U.S. and overseas.
And why did you say you're only dealing? It's just that
my job.
Okay.
My job.
Okay.
I mean, then I won't sleep.
But there's someone else. There's who's
Jeff
in the U.S.
Jeff Fresh is.
Jeff is.
Yeah, look, we were talking before, Salim, the international side, and the domestic questions we can turn towards Jeff.
But these vehicles are being sold everywhere.
Yeah, this is truly a global product.
Right.
And the trucks we built for the U.S. are compatible and can be sold anywhere around the world. Right. Which is very different than many of the products you have. U.S. domestic market, U.S. market requirement is different than the rest of the world. But what makes the Stryker, the airport product, unique for us, we designed it to be a true global product that fits the U.S. requirement, but also the rest of the world. Yep. And Scania is the right partner for that because they also have a global perspective on things. Right. Okay, so
okay. One other question. Do you have a few minutes, or you?
I have as much time as well. We can do it right?
Exactly. What are the markets in the world that are growing faster? So ones you want to get into? China? Are there?
So you can answer the question. You can ask the question. You can answer.
Well, everybody seems to be interested in China.
But China is by far the largest market, but we have very strong presence in Latin America. Also, Europe is a strong option. But if you look at it maybe a little bit differently, an 8x8 truck that we came up with, the only option we have on it is the Scania. So wherever this 8x8 goes, the market for that 8x8 Scania engine is the world. Right. So probably the biggest opportunities for that, the 8x8 markets is basically China and the Middle East, because these are the biggest markets for the 8x8s. On the 6x6 Scania engine, it will be China as well, then Europe, Latin America.
Okay. When are you, Sam mentioned you're going to bring this truck out at the FDIC show?
Yeah.
In April. When is it likely that you'll actually deliver these? Do you have a timeline in mind for starting to deliver the trucks to customers?
Our official launch is I think it's April 2017 at the FDIC show.
Right.
And that truck will be going on a, let's call it, world tour to be demonstrated and displayed at different shows around the world.
Right.
Like one show could be China Fire. which is every other year in Beijing, and I think it's September 2017. And then from that point on, it can be doing a roadshow, and hopefully we sell it.
And take it on tour.
Yeah.
A world tour. Does a company like Scania have warranties on their equipment they're selling you? Are you working at all with them in the design phase of some of these things?
Sure. When we decide to incorporate their engine in our chassis,
right.
There was an engineering team that collaborated very closely on designing. You have the coating package. There's a lot of elements to it.
Okay.
And they were very successful at that. Part of the discussion when we agreed to purchase their engine and incorporate the engine in our product, we talked about the service and support and warranty.
Okay.
Of course, the warranty is very critical, and you have to have the network out there when you sell the product around the world, that while customers need to be taken care of, they come to Oshkosh and say, hey, the engine needs to be fixed. Generally, we go to the provider, and Scania has the network out around the world to be able to support that in market. So we do, of course, focus on the warranty side and the support side, and they provide a premium service and warranty that's second to none. That could have been my Christmas gift for you.
Busy. This year's been flying by.
It is, because this week that's gone, next week is holiday.
How about yourself? Been traveling quite a bit.
Yeah.
Every time go by really fast.
Yeah. A little bit too much. But,
well, it's not bad when you can travel out of the snow like this.
Yeah, but it's hard to keep up with your workload and obligation in terms of stuff. Yeah.
Anything new in airport vehicles? You basically have your fire trucks, snowblower, and equipment. Anything else with airport vehicles? Or is that basically the market?
The market, and you can say that what's new is the 8x8 is a new product. New. It's dual engine. Sam will give you that. And it meets a very rigorous standard that we sort of hopefully we would be like leading the industry on that in terms of acceleration and payload, in terms of water carrying capacity and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of talked right before about it's a truck where you don't have to compromise on it, where you can have your high water capacity and also the cargo space, and your equipment sacrifice the speed.
Yeah.
The Scania engine has that capability.
And he's going to give you the horsepower up to 1,500 horsepower. I mean, this is I joke about it. I say, this truck has so much horsepower, we put wings on it, it flies, right? So it's very, very important to know that, because I think, to me, this is tremendous amount of horsepower. I don't know how much the airplane engine is in terms of horsepower, but I bet you this monster will fly.
Monster is a good word to describe that truck.
Yeah. Any other cooperation in the future you're going to be doing with Scania? Or you have your hands full right now with?
Well, it seems like this conversation is going to the engine side, right?
Yeah.
But my scope, and I want to make sure, I want to maybe convey to the reader that our relationship expands well beyond the engine. We had great success on the engine side, and we're going to leverage that, and we see that as a growing opportunity.
Good.
However, our collaboration would be on the municipal fire. We would like to promote our body on the Scania chassis, and also, if I may take it to maybe skip outside the fire and emergency side of the business and go to the commercial side of the business, which we're in tremendous collaboration with them. Actually, we introducing new product into the market on the commercial side of our business, on the refuse side of our business, and I would say we have good success stories in the UK, and also success stories in Mexico. And we're very proud to say that the ConAg show, which is the largest construction show in the world that takes place in Vegas in FY17, we're going to have for the first time a non-U.S. chassis in our booth with our body on it, and it's going to be a Scania chassis. So it's a big deal. So the relationship with Scania is on many fronts. You have the engine, you have the chassis for fire application.
Right.
Also, you have the chassis for commercial application, both refuse and mixers. It can be on a high level. You don't have to go through the product details and the specs and so on, but really the scope of it is the overall relationship. And also, the relationship we have with Scania is on multi-level, from our CEO, from a very high senior leadership all the way down to the leadership to the middle management. So it's a very healthy, collaborative, across-the-board relationship.
Good to know. So I'll definitely talk about the commercial side of it too.
And when you do that, just send me your. I'll tweak it for you to see how we can incorporate.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to you, to Jeff, the article, because I want you to check facts, figures, and stuff. Not necessarily style.
Yeah, that's your job.
That's supposed to be my job. Again, there's probably a lot more we could put in, but we're limited with space.
And my job is to do, I always say my job is to do a brain dump on you.
Exactly.
And you pick and choose what you want.
Yeah.
And at least my job is to make sure to give you the whole spectrum.
You've given me some good information. In fact, I think I've got just what I need from you.
Okay.
You got a minute? I'm going to have you...
I'm not in a hurry. It's just tell me...
That's good. I'm going to...
Stuff on Oshkosh. Okay. Seems like a long way to come.
Well, what they're doing is basically a relatively short article with photos for their company magazine.
Sure.
It's a nice big glossy color. I don't have a copy of it to show you. But Jeff, Sam's given me a bunch of information. Salim.
I interviewed Salim this morning.
Okay.
He has too. And I did have a question. Some of the background information I have said in April of 2015 that Oshkosh and Scania entered into an agreement with new engines. What's April 2015? Does that make any sense? Does that mean anything? I'm not sure what that means.
No, in the last couple of years, we have gone around to look at different engine manufacturers as we were starting to develop our new, what we call our 8x8 unit.
Right.
And certain technical requirements that we were looking for, performance and emissions and whatnot. And as we got around to a number of the manufacturers, we liked what we saw with Scania. We liked the product. We liked the personnel, the company culture, board. So we had a number of meetings, and it took a while, but basically we made an agreement that we would utilize their product for our new 8x8 design, which is right now starting the final prototype phase of assembling our first unit.
Got it. And you also have their engines in the 4x4 and the 6x6?
Well, that was kind of a tag on. After that, we didn't necessarily go out looking for a new engine for the 4x4 and 6x6. We were looking specifically for the new truck, the 8x8. But as we worked through that, we realized that it would be a good option for us to, in those applications also.
Okay. I know you got the ARFF vehicles in airports, ARF, and the snow blowers.
Correct.
I was asking Sam, is it safe to say your vehicles are in just about every major airport in the country?
I think it's fairly safe to say that our products are at least 80% of the airports, either snow or ARF.
Okay.
We have a few southern airports that might not have a truck, but I would say 80 to 90% for sure domestically.
Okay.
And our trucks are legitimately all over the world. Asia, Canada, South America, Southeast Asia, Africa, India,
Right.
Even Russia.
You're dealing with the U.S. and Canada, is that correct?
No, the whole world.
The whole world, but you're...
Jeff he's in charge of our whole the open
Yeah.
group, like I was saying.
Okay.
Salim, we talked to him, he's the international. And what I meant, because he had some questions domestically.
Sure.
That I said you'd probably be able to answer. So
Right.
Jeff
Well, the way,
oversees the whole.
I just back up a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm responsible for the airport products business.
Okay.
Okay. So the engineering, the design, the manufacture, basically getting the trucks built and everything else. And we also include the sales. Our group here covers the sales of U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
Okay. And then I don't want to say farm it out, but Celine's group sells Oshkosh Corporation products all over the world, not just our products. They sell Pierce fire trucks. They sell commercial refuge trucks and concrete trucks. So he's kind of exclusively a international sales arm of our business. So we work obviously very close together.
Right.
But we're the truck builder, the truck business. He's our international distribution, works with our international
So
distribution.
the big exciting thing is this 8x8 coming out. And that'll be April. You're going to take it to that show.
FDIC.
And I think Salim said you've been dealing with Scania for how long?
Well, the relationship started prior to Interships. Interships was 15 or 14.
15.
We weren't there last year.
Oh, yeah, 14.
14 it was prior.
Salim
Salim
said 5
mentioned,
or
he said 6 years even.
But that would be the very first discussions.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any longer than that. My thinking was 3 or 4 years, but I don't know what went on. My first actual introduction to them was when we were over there about 3.5 years ago to visit them and other competitors.
Right. Let me back up a little. How's business? I mean, what's
Overall
the market
business,
like for your...
overall business is fairly consistent because airports can't allow their vehicles to deteriorate or get too old, especially in the United States because you have FAA oversees the airports very closely. They do inspections. Vehicles have to be in certain conditions, and if a truck gets passed, it's what they consider livelihood, or livelihood is probably the right word, but legitimacy. They'll actually fund airport products. So now all airports don't use federal funds or FAA funds, but those that do, but FAA does oversee all airports if they're funding the vehicles or not. So like a Chicago, who doesn't use federal funds, they use their own funds to buy a truck, but the FAA still has oversight to make sure that all is safe.
Do they inspect these vehicles?
Yes.
And they say, okay, this one...
It's got to pass inspection.
Okay.
It's got to have performance requirements, be able to go so fast and charge so much water or foam.
Right. Just the airport, well, there's the airport vehicles, there's commercial side, defense, access. For the airports, how far back has Oshkosh been making these?
That's a good question.
I think the first big airport kind of truck contract would be with I believe it was the Navy. I think it was the MB-1 or MB-4. It was either in the 40s or 50s. Okay. They had made our truck prior to that in like 30s, but that wasn't like a huge. I mean, airport firefighting was kind of its infancy then.
Okay.
It kind of took the development of planes to get bigger and bigger for airports to realize that truck to that.
Okay, so it might have started its infancy in the 40s, you think?
Well, yeah, that could well be. I guess I'm looking back at some of the published things that we've done before. We did a proposal for U.S. government for some airport trucks, and our history with the U.S. Which is Oshkosh has been manufacturing custom ARF vehicles for over 4 decades, starting with a contract received U.S. Navy in 1967 for 500-gallon water capacity in B5. Now that's the first one with the military. So,
and then a little beforehand. That's, I guess, really when you'd say stuff started really accelerating, and the ARF industry as kind of a doctrine too started taking off around then.
You have an idea of these four segments of your business. Is there a rough percentages for how much your business is each one? Like the fire and emergency, is that a big part of it?
Fire and emergency is about $1 billion business. The commercial segment of the business is also probably about $1 billion. So, and that's broken down real simply in our financial statement.
Yeah, let them know. Get a margin report.
Yeah, and I think just roughly you're going to see. Okay, so we're $6 billion business. Those two segments represent $2 billion. JLG represents probably $3 billion, so that's you're already up to $5 billion. Defense varies dramatically based on contracts, but so they may be. Real rough numbers, but it's public information, and you can just look at the.
I'll get you all the specifics and details.
You have a card too. Before I go, I'm gonna make sure I get one of those. Well, Celine, both these guys have filled me in quite a bit.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on your business, where it's going these days? Anything?
Well, one thing interesting about our business relative to some of the other Oshkosh Corporation businesses, we're very, especially on the ARF side, very internationally dominant. We always like to say about 70% of our ARF business, our airport fire truck business, is international. Everywhere from.
I'm sorry, what percentage is in there?
70.
70. Okay.
Yeah, over time. Again, you throw a dot at the map, you're probably going to hit something that we've been to. Our snow business is not near as international. Now, with the onboarding of the Scania engines within our snow business, we feel that'll give us more international appeal because of the 24-volt engines, which is kind of an expectation from international customers. So we feel that we have growth opportunities international with our snow products. Already there in the ARF business. Interesting to note from an engine viewpoint is that our trucks, specifically both snow and ARF, have to have the capability of having the latest and greatest emissions levels, like Euro 6 or therefore final emission levels for part of the world, and other parts of the world they're still at Tier 3 or very we call dirty engines.
Let me understand that. Are they mandating engines have to reach this level?
Basically, country by country. Okay. And the problem there is low sulfur fuels or clean diesel fuels are not available in a lot of third world countries.
Okay.
So when we're selling into Southeast Asia, most of China, Africa, Latin America, most of those countries do not have low sulfur fuels available, so they still need to utilize Tier 3 engines, where Europe, United States, Canada, they're going to low sulfur, what we call clean engines. So some countries have dirty trucks, some have clean trucks, and we have to have the flexibility to put either or.
Right.
How
do you define the tiers? You said that
Tier 4 final is U.S.
Tier 4.
Yeah.
Tier 3 is more the third world.
Is dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah, the higher tier, more stringent emissions.
So whatever the reason, over in Europe, they don't go by the Tier 3 or Tier 4. They go by Euro. Right. Now they're looking at Euro 6. That's the cleanest engines right now. Europe. So Europeans have probably been leading the way as far as emission levels and expectations.
And the Scania engines are meeting all these.
Yep, Scania
levels.
was one of the first ones that was out there that was ahead of the curve, because our engines are not only they're big horsepower engines.
Right.
So you've got 700 horsepower type engines. That's not the norm. You know,
Mm-hmm.
So to get somebody who's, and a lot of those engines are considered off-road engines, you know, maybe in tractors or marine or somewhere that they don't have the same emissions expectations that over-the-road product has.
Right.
And our engines are bigger than what you typically put in a tractor pulling a 18-wheeler, because they don't need, so we need the big horsepower for quick acceleration and heavy carrying of water. When your plane crashes at the end of the runway, you got to get up on it. So you need a lot of horsepower, and there are speed requirements that are mandated by EA and AO specifications, so.
Are they different in all parts of the?
Yeah, a little bit. A KO spec, which is kind of an international generic spec for all airport ARF trucks, is kind of a baseline. Then an NFPA 414, which is a U.S. Standard, is a higher level of that. They're not different. It's just like more particular, more stringent, higher performance requirements, stricter tilt table testing. So if somebody says it's an ICAO spec, the truck doesn't maybe have to go as fast or doesn't have to pump as much. Or if it's a 414 spec, it will have all of that, everything in ICAO plus some more. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. These ARF vehicles, are they useful, or can they be sold outside of the airport market? I mean, just to the fire department?
Not typically. They can be used in wildland applications.
What's that?
Well, forest fighter.
Oh, okay.
Fighting, because they've got great all-wheel drive capabilities, 6-wheel, 8-wheel drive. You know, they can go, you know, very, very off-road, high durability, high water capacity. So they make an awesome wildfire truck. Maybe not so much structural firefighting, because they're big and they don't fit on the roads typically. But they can be used on 9/11. One of our ARF trucks went and saved the Pentagon, because it was down the road from Dallas, and they called in the ARF vehicles with foam and fire to help put out the fire at the Pentagon during 9/11. Also, Sam can give you a copy of the article we had.
I think it's was in the last one.
Yeah, I think it's one of the old ones here.
There you go.
Amazing story about, if you remember last summer, that was this summer, right?
Yeah.
Or springtime. These huge fires up in Canada, up around Calgary, and a couple of the mining companies up there have our big ARF vehicles. So they took them into the city to save homes and lives and stuff like that. So they do have those kind of capabilities, but they're not. We don't market them into like the local fire departments.
Right.
Just because of the fact that's not what they're designed for.
They'll get called once in a while. It's like a mutual aid call if there's something they can't handle with their trucks, like a 18-wheeler fire. There's like a fuel depot.
Well, even though you call them aircraft rescue and firefighting, it's not just airports, like you mentioned.
Well, sometimes there's privatized, like some of these huge mines will have their own airstrip because they're flying employees in and all. I'm not sure which one of them, but one of them had, these things also have what we call a high-reach extendable turret, basically an elevated boom that goes up and penetrates.
I see that on the model.
And it'll poke into the side of the aircraft. And they utilize it because they have these huge mining equipment that if they get an engine fire, they'll use this thing to poke through the engine housing to put the fire out in the big mining equipment.
Right. Do you also sell fire trucks just to local fire departments?
Absolutely. Well, we don't in our little piece of the business.
Right, not in this part.
But you're right here in this plant, Pierce Manufacturing.
Right.
Like you show how the business is broke up. You have Oshkosh Defense. This is fire and emergency.
Right.
This is access. This is commercial. Within fire and emergency, this is us, Oshkosh Airport Products. That's our trucks. Pierce Manufacturing, which is out of the billion-dollar business here.
Yep.
Pierce is about $800 million. So this is the biggest brand in the United States by far.
Okay.
It's not as quite as international as what we are, but there's like 5,000 of these type of trucks built every year, 4,000 to 5,000 of typical fire trucks. Where there in the United States, where there might be 100 of these sold in the United States. There's just obviously a lot more fire departments than there are airports. So this brand, which falls under in the Oshkosh Corporation, the Pierce brand, is the number one fire truck manufacturer in the United States, and we believe in the world.
Yeah, good to know. Could you do me a favor? I like this schematic. Could I just have a copy of that page?
Sure.
I don't need that whole thing, just that page.
As long as I know.
It's good.
Just take a spot shot of that one for me.
And then you have snow blower equipment too.
Yep.
That's using Scania engines.
Yeah, our new, what we call single engine blower.
Single engine, yep.
Big typical snow blower unit that we use on the airports today. And we have all kinds of different types of equipment, but the typical blower is like this one.
Right.
It has this engine. This is an engine in the back that drives the truck.
Right.
And this engine in the middle just drives the blower because you need so much horsepower to move 5,000 tons.
So there's single engine and there's double engines.
Right.
You're making is the Scania one's a single engine?
The single engine is the new Scania.
It's a bigger engine. It handles everything.
No, it's not that much bigger. It's a 500 horse, but it does both applications. It doesn't have quite the capacity.
Yeah.
It's 3,000 tons a minute instead of there you go.
Oh, thanks very much.
Another counter there. Yeah, our new blower is like that, but it's instead of that's a 5,000 ton. The single engine is 3,000 tons.
Any advantage to having?
Well, there's less cost. There's less maintenance. It's smaller. It's more maneuverable.
Yep.
There's a picture of the single engine blower.
Oh, yeah.
It has one engine housing.
Yep.
It has the same cab. It's a much smaller wheelbase. It's a smaller head. We call it blower head.
Yep.
Same cab. But this is a brand new product. We never really had a single engine blower before.
Right.
So similar to the 8x8, we said, okay, we're going to build a new product.
Right.
What's the right horse engine for us?
Right.
And with our team working on the 8x8, they said, hey, Scania's got some good product. Let's look at the engine we're using for that.
Right. Are those already in airports? You already selling those?
We just started selling them. We have a few up at Minneapolis. Was our first customer. We've got a couple demos out on the road. We have one delivered out east to Hudson County.
So you're just getting that business.
Right. This is our first year.
Okay.
Yeah, we introduced it at it's called the Snow Symposium. It's a big show last April.
Okay.
So that was the introduction of it. And I mean, from there you can start generating interest. It's not like a consumer product where people are buying it off the shelf right from there.
Got it. And then the last thing, McNeilus, is that how you pronounce that?
Yep.
The mixer truck. What is that? What kind of truck is that?
It's a concrete truck.
Okay, concrete.
Yeah, here they are. Let me look at your cheat sheet here. Here's
down here. Okay.
Right, McNeilus. You see the concrete trucks.
Yeah.
And they also do garbage trucks.
Right.
Typically, the thing with McNeilus, so other than we'll call it the S series, most of those trucks are on a commercial chassis, a Mack, Freightliner, Navistar,
Right.
Where our products are, we build the whole truck and the chassis.
Right.
Now, McNeilus also builds you ever see the the concrete trucks where it comes out the front instead of out the back. Those are what we call front-end discharge concrete truck, and those are built on a custom chassis, similar to like what we do. We build those trucks from ground up. Now, I don't really know much about those kind of trucks because I never really worked in that business. Steve, I don't know if he's back yet, but he's an expert in that field. He worked in that business for a long time.
So, again, they list, so Scania engines are going into those.
Yeah, like you said, it's not really our business. You'd have probably.
Are they using them in S-Series?
I have no idea.
There's really no need to even mention those, right?
Yeah, because that's under airport products. I mean, if you want to, though, I can get you a contact information over at McNeil's.
No, it makes the article too long, too complicated, trying to cover everything.
Just tell me we build the coolest snow and our trucks in the world, and we're starting to use Scania products in both.
There you go.
Quick article.
There we go. What's anything new coming up in the future? What's new in the industry? Anything?
I think our 8x8 really kind of is a huge, even though it's kind of a configuration, 8-wheel drive that's been out there, it's the fact that this is, I mean, Jeff says it, the highest performing RF, 8-wheel drive RF vehicle out there.
Right. Are there other 8-wheel? I mean, you have competition, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
There's other ones out there, but yours is going to...
And we've had one in the past.
Yeah. So the photo, Jeff. Yeah, that one. That's what I was talking to you about.
There's an old one right here.
Earlier, that's the previous design. We're going to bring it into the design and email you that rendering of what it's going to look like.
That's what it looks.
So that's an 8.
That's an 8. It's got a Caterpillar 950 horse engine. Yeah. Now we're going to a new body look, a new cab, and we're going to dual Scania, basically 700 horsepower engines.
Yeah. So is that safe to say I could say a 700 horsepower engine in these 8x8s?
Yeah, I can get you the specifics. There's a range of horsepower options that we will have available.
Okay.
But I think it maxes out at like 1540, I think, horsepower.
So it can go anywhere from 700 to 1500 horsepower?
No, it's two engines. So
two engines.
Yep. So the high output 700 something and ends up equaling 1540 between.
That's right. Two engines on the 8x8.
Yeah, we had talked before about one of the big deals about that 8x8. We've had an 8x8, but this new one is bigger and badder, and like we said before, you don't have to compromise.
Right.
Right now for that, do we?
No, we still have that kind of keeping it. I did send him one of the renderings that Dave Jackson did.
Is it only the big international airports that are going to use these 8x8s? So you go into some of these regional airports, they don't need a vehicle like that, do they?
No.
They 4x4?
Yeah, they range from 4x4, 6x6, 8x8, based on their amount of traffic they have, what their indexing is.
Right.
No, it's usually, we see them domestically at the bigger airports like Dallas and Chicago and San Francisco.
Right.
So due to FAA, based on their indexing, is how much water can you get to the end of the runway. And an 8x8, which carries 4,500 gallons of water, compared to a 4x4, which carries 1,500 gallons of water. So it's 3 times as large. It carries 3 times as much water in an 8x8 than you can do on a 4x4.
Yep. Good. I assume you're going to keep this collaboration going with Scania then.
That's our plan at this time. as long as everything goes well. So far, it's been a great relationship. They've done what they said they're going to do, and they've been a good company to work with, and we're off to a good start.
How long have you worked for the company?
38 and a half years. I'll be 39 next spring. Started when I was 5.
Yeah, that's today's corporate world. People don't stay with one company.
No, it seems like there's a lot more moving around. But one good thing about our business and our corporation, even for a young guy like Sam, you can start and you can move around within the corporation. You can go to different locations. You can go to different businesses. You can go to different, be marketing, or you could move to operations, or you could do, so if you'd like, you could do different. I've had, obviously, numerous different jobs in my 39 years or 38 years. I was originally a Pierce employee.
Okay.
We talked about the wind fire trucks.
Yep.
For 30 years, then Oshkosh Corporation bought our company and added it, so it became Oshkosh employee, and then I got a chance to move from the red trucks over to the South trucks. So
how long have you been just in this unit?
Since 2009.
Okay.
Somewhere 2009. So what is that?
Nowhere near retirement yet.
The older it is, the closer I am.
Yeah, I know. So you'll be able to get me a little more of the specs on the engines.
If I'll get you the
so I make sure. Okay. Any other thoughts you might have that you want to?
Well, I guess I'm looking at what you're doing. You're going to give a letter to basically something like this from Scania or what's going on in the business, and I think from the Scania's viewpoint would be, I'm being a little bit homer here, but we're starting to partner with largest, most respected corporations in the world. That's me.
Oh, that's you.
Oshkosh, is a world leader in all these different segments of the marketplace, be it defense vehicles, be it or defense military vehicles, be it structural fire trucks, be it airport support, snow and ARF, concrete. I mean, Scania's got their foot in the door of a really major vocational manufacturer. Don't build over-the-road typical trucks for, delivering milk every day, but when you talk about niche chassis to do the jobs, it's one of the most respected and largest. Another piece of the business, and Sam can get you back on that too, we're quite proud of some of the things we've done. Specifically, in the last year, we were named one of the world's most ethical companies. I don't know if you got the stats on it, but there's only so many companies in the world that are given this award, and we're the only one in kind of market segment. So we're very proud of that. They come in and do a lot of research and homework on you, and that can't be said for all of our competitors. So, we're pretty excited. Not excited, but we're pretty proud of that fact.
Right.
And we're also named one of the best companies to work at last year too. So
best place to work at. We're always on the list of top employers for any, or anyone who's in the military. That's more like the defense business, but that's something we're proud of too, because not everyone
hire a lot of.
There's a large percentage of our defense folks, can't remember what it is, that are either currently in the armed services of some sort or veterans.
Yep. And you're still doing, you're a lot of manufacturing. You're making stuff.
Yeah, we are true heavy manufacturer. We build trucks. We get to see some manufacturing today, right?
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay. Yeah, we obviously we don't build the engines or the tires or the wheels.
Right.
But we fabricate a lot of components. We weld, we bend, we
making the chassis and the bodies,
right? A lot of
and you drop the engines in.
Yep. We build a lot of Oshkosh Corporation build our own gear cases, our own suspension systems.
They truly design, build, and sell. Everything from scratch.
Well, there's always things I forget about. If I have a question, I'll get it to you.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, it's a good point. And Sam, you'll dig up the right person to talk to.
And like I say, once I get this written, I'm going to send a copy to Sam, and he'll distribute it to you. And
sounds good. I don't know, did you want to keep this?
Could I? Yeah, all this stuff
is kind of our...
It has something good background towards the end, too, with the single engine blower also.
Oh, okay, good. There it is. Single engine blower. Minnesota. That's what they're talking about. Okay.
All righty.
I think that's good.
Well, it's nice talking to you.
I'm going to take a couple of pictures of you, if that's okay.
Okay.
Since normally what I'd want to do is get you out in the plant, but we're not going to do that. So let me just get at least a headshot. Are you okay with that?
Well, I wish I would have had here, let me put a shirt on.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
If you don't mind. Because,
It's fine. Well, I kind of like the Green Bay.
yeah, I do too, but for publication.
Yeah.
It's for, like I said, the pet shop, right? So,
Yeah, it's, so, yeah, in favor, just, just kick your legs on.
stop that shade if that helps.
I don't think so.
I don't have much to work with.
Life of a model, sit around and wait. There we go, that's a J.C. Penney catalog model.
Start modeling Greg shirts out there.
It's fun. Put this on your resume.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, give me a CEO armful.
Oh.
That's what I call it.
Mark Scheich in today.
He's on a call this morning, early this morning.
Okay.
Last one, if you want to have a seat, yes. Why don't you go ahead and sit at your desk? I just want to do a couple shots while you talk to Sam.
Are you coming to this Atlanta meeting today? You on that?
I'm invited. I'd like to be.
Oh.
What time is that at?
It's at 12, or it's at 1:30. I'm trying to talk her. I haven't tried to talk to her because she can.
I'd really like to get out of the meeting and have it noon.
Well, let's ask her if she can maybe reschedule at 12 o'clock.
We're finding out today if they're coming for sure or not, right?
They're coming for sure. We'll find out what flights are going to be on because they're going to come in Tuesday for Tuesday afternoon night. We have them early on Wednesday, or if we if they're coming Wednesday morning, they'll be 11 o'clock.
Right.
That's a different meeting.
Yeah. I talked to Brianna this morning, and she said she's going to let me know for sure what's going on, so I'll talk to her.
Talking to this guy for a second. Regale him with your knowledge here.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Any big plans this weekend besides snow blowing?
No, I'm snow blowing in up north, and I'm going to come home and snow blow at home.
You have two separate snow blowers. One of the you have one of those cool snow blower attachments for your lawnmower.
Four-wheeler, no.
Or your four-wheeler. Those are like, how much is the...
Unless you got a big parking lot, walk behind is a lot more.
I don't know how Greg Maurer, he's got, like a mile and a half of road.
Then you need a plow.
You need a P-Series.
Big ass thing. But no, honestly, I bought a bigger snowblower for...
Oh, that's what yeah.
So I did that one up north, and I bought a smaller, more manageable, fair amount of concrete.
Yeah, it took me last snowstorm, hour and a half to
Shovel.
which, I mean, I'd either go to the gym for an hour and a half or...
To be fair, just lean over on that arm of the chair. Yeah. And just take a look right in the camera. Yeah, give me that look that drives the women crazy. Okay, good. I'll let you go.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for your time, sir.
Bye. Keep it.
For your impromptu modeling situation.
Well, honestly, I always kept one here. I figured if I had it slobbered on it someday and I needed that.
I almost wore that T-shirt under this today.
Well, I did that for once because I'm going 2 levels here today.
It's cold out.
Why don't you talk to Brianna and see if we can move that?
Yep. I'm going to call Mark here quick because anyway, I got a meeting at noon one way or another, so I'm see if Dwight can get over there if Mark can have someone or him let him in or something.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to... Yeah, there's someone who you can hand me off to.
Yeah,
I know my dad gets you over there.
Yeah, I can get her over there too. I just know if I have a meeting over here at noon, I'm going to really limit Dwight on any time over there.
I just need...
Well, we wouldn't really, you need to be, you're talking about for the 9 o'clock?
Well, either that or if I